I'm a lawyer. Opposing counsel destroyed me with devastating citations. I was crushed until I looked up every source. They were all fake. ChatGPT made them up. I'm a litigation attorney. Last month, opposing counsel filed a brief that was so thorough, so devastating, that I sat in my office for 2 hours convinced I'd lost the case. Every citation was on point. Every quote was damning. Every precedent demolished my argument. Then I started checking the sources. The first case didn't exist, neither did the second, or the third, or any of them. Every citation, every quote, every precedent was fabricated. Opposing counsel had used ChatGPT to write their brief, and the AI made everything up. The case was a commercial dispute. My client had been sued for breach of contract by a former business partner. Standard stuff. The claims were weak, and I built a solid defense based on the contract language and documented communications. I felt good about our position. Then the opposition filed their response. It was 41 pages, meticulously formatted, confident tone. It cited 14 cases, quoted 7 judicial opinions, and referenced 3 law review articles. Each citation directly countered my arguments. One quote appeared to be from a federal appellate decision that said exactly the opposite of what I'd argued. Another cited a state Supreme Court ruling with specific page numbers. A third referenced a law review article from Georgetown with a detailed analysis that undermined my client's position paragraph by paragraph. I read it 3 times. I called my paralegal Fiona and said, "We have a problem." We spent the afternoon going through it. Every page made my stomach drop further. The writing was clean. The logic was airtight. The citations appeared authoritative. By 6 p.m., I was sitting in my chair staring at the ceiling, wondering how I'd missed all of these cases in my own research. I called my client and told him the other side had filed a strong response. He asked how bad it was. I said, "Bad." Then Fiona knocked on my door. She had a yellow legal pad with notes. "I can't find one of these cases." "Which one?" "Henderson versus Pacific Coast Logistics. Check Westlaw and LexisNexis." I did. It doesn't exist. Try different search terms. I used the full case name, the citation, and the court. Nothing. We checked the next case. Barrett versus Connolly, cited as a Ninth Circuit opinion from 2019. Didn't exist. We checked the Georgetown Law Review article. The journal was real. The volume number was real. The article wasn't. We checked every single citation in the 41-page brief. 14 cases, 7 quoted opinions, 3 articles. Not one of them was real. Every case name was fabricated. Every citation number pointed to nothing. Every quote was invented. The page numbers referenced empty spaces. The judicial opinions were written by no judge. The law review article had an author who didn't exist at Georgetown or anywhere else. It was all generated by AI. Every word of it. Fiona and I sat in my office until midnight cross-referencing everything. She built a spreadsheet. Case name, alleged court, alleged year, alleged citation, result does not exist. 14 rows, all identical in the last column. I sat at my desk and laughed for about 3 minutes straight. Fiona stared at me. "Are you okay?" They used ChatGPT to write their brief. The whole thing is hallucinated. All of it? Every citation, every quote, every case, none of it is real. The next morning, I filed a motion with the court. I documented every fabricated citation with screenshots from Westlaw and LexisNexis showing no results. I included a detailed chart matching each citation to its non-existent source. I noted that the writing style, structure, and specific types of errors were consistent with AI-generated legal text, including the confident presentation of entirely fictitious authorities. The judge was not amused. He scheduled an emergency hearing. Opposing counsel, a man named Hargrove, showed up looking confused. He apparently hadn't verified a single source. The judge asked him directly, "Did you use an AI tool to draft this brief?" Hargrove hesitated. Then he said, "I used it for research assistance." "Did you verify any of the cases cited in your filing?" "I relied on the tool's output." "You submitted 41 pages of fabricated case law to this court, 14 fictional cases, 7 fake judicial quotes. You cited page numbers for opinions that don't exist. You submitted this under your signature as an officer of the court." Hargrove didn't have an answer. The judge struck the entire brief from the record. He sanctioned Hargrove $5,000 for filing fraudulent citations. He referred the matter to the state bar for potential disciplinary action. He also issued a written order that any future filings in his courtroom must include a certification that all cited authorities have been independently verified. My client called me that evening. "So we're good?" "We're better than good." Their entire argument was fiction. Every case, every quote, every precedent was invented by a machine that doesn't know the difference between a real ruling and a convincing sentence. Like, made up. Every case they cited was invented by a chatbot. Their lawyer submitted 41 pages of things that never happened. He was quiet for a second. "That's the funniest thing I've ever heard." Fiona framed the chart she made. It hangs in our conference room. 14 case names in the left column. 14 no results found screenshots in the right. It's a conversation starter at firm meetings. Hargrove's disciplinary hearing is pending. His client hired new counsel. Our case is proceeding on the actual law, which still favors my client. The brief that almost broke my confidence turned out to be the most impressive piece of fiction I've ever read in a courtroom. It was well written. It was persuasive, and not a single word of it was true. The AI wrote a beautiful lie. The lawyer believed it. The court didn't.